Hello and welcome to the Maths Learning Lecture for Foundation. So, first of all, I'm going to go through quickly what the structure is going to be. You might have seen this in the higher one last week, but I'm going to go through it again for the Foundation. So, we arrived from lineup about 8:35, and straight away you've got a key knowledge test, which is on the front of the sheet that you've got. So, you've got 5 minutes to do that. Once you've done that, I'm going to go through the answers for about 5 minutes. They're going to be the same questions every single half term, but with different numbers. So try and get used to the technique, try and get used to those type of questions. Once you've done that, we're going to be looking at some GCSE style questions. So I'm going to go through some, and then you're going to have a go at some, which are again very similar, but just different numbers and different maybe ways of writing it down. And then we're going to mark those, and then we'll finish up for the day. So let's have a go at our knowledge test then. So here's your knowledge test. So you've got 5 minutes to have a go at that. Off you go. Okay, so let's go through these answers. I will put them up here as well. We'll go through them quickly. So, no, question 1 was write down the square root of 16. Now, the square root means what number, so the square root of 16 is what number times by itself gives 16. And the answer to this is equal to 4. Okay, question 2 was find the area of the triangle. Now, I always think about the area of the triangle because people always make the same mistake. Okay, when you're doing the area of the triangle, base times height, but then they always forget to divide by 2. Okay, so it'd be 5 times 1 in this case, divided by 2. 5 times 1 is 5, divided by 2 is equal to 2.5 centimeters squared on my units on that one. 2.5 centimeters squared. Brilliant. Convert, question 3, 5,200 meters into kilometers. Now there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So this one here is going to be equal to 5.2 kilometers, like so. Next one here, question 4. Find the median. Well, if you want to know the rhyme, hey diddle diddle, the median's in the middle. You add and divide for the mean. The mode is the one which is the most, and the range is the difference between. So your median for this is the middle. But the thing they always miss out is that you need to put these in order. So let's go through. We've got 1, 2. You should be crossing these off as well. 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 7 and 8, is it? 7 and 8. It's hard to see on here. I'm just going to count the numbers to make sure I've double check. So here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Brilliant. So they're in order. Remember the median's in the middle. So cross off, cross off, cross off, cross off. Looking for this middle number. And my middle number in this case is equal to 5. Brilliant. So my median's 5. So this next one is simplifying. Now, I think the ones we've got today are quite easy, okay? They will get trickier. So 3p plus 2y plus 4y plus 3y plus p. Now, with these ones here, the ones we can collect together are the y's and the p's. So 3p plus p is equal to 4p. 2y plus 4y is 6y. Plus 3y is equal to plus 9y, like so. Brilliant. Angles in a, well, make sure you know what type of triangle this is. Because of these two lines, we know that this is an isosceles, which means that the base angles are the same. Now, the base angles, you start with these lines here and you work your way out. So my base angles are these two. So these two here are the same. I'm going to call it y because it says find the value of y. So we know that's y and that's y. So in which case, it's going to be 180, take away 64. Borrow from this, 7 and 10. 10 take away 4 is 6. 7 take away 6 is 1. We've got 116 for these two. Okay? Remember, both of these are worth 116. So I need to divide this by 2. 2 into 1 doesn't go. 2 into 11 goes 5 times. Carry the 1. 2 into 16 goes 8. So y is equal to 58 degrees. Brilliant. So we've got a couple more just to do. Right. So this is question 7. Write 4 over 5 as a decimal. Now, if I want to write a fraction as a decimal, the easiest way is to write the denominator as a power or a multiple of 10. So in this one here, that's quite straightforward because I can times by 2 and times by 2, which means it's going to be 8 over 10, which means I'm going to have 8 in my tenths column for my decimal. This here is 0.8. And the last one, question 8. Simplify this. 4t plus 6 and 2t plus 4. Now, I always use the grid method for this. I think it's the best method. It works all the way up to 6th form when you're doing things like binomial expansion. Not that you might want to do that, but here, 4t and 6, 2t and 4, 2t times 4t is 8t squared. 2 times 4 is 8. T times t is t squared. 2t times 6 is 12t. 4 times 4t is 16t. And 4 times 6 is equal to 20. Now the only ones I can bring together are the ones which are the same, which are this t and this t. So it's going to be 8t squared, 12t plus 16t. Well, 10 is 20, 6 and 2 is 28. So 28t plus 20. Let's just check those answers. Brilliant. Okay. So let's move on to our booklet page, our booklet questions. So turn the page over. Let's have a go at this one first. So today what we're going to be looking at is we're going to be looking at percentages. But we're going to be looking at a particular type of percentages. And that's what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at using a multiplier. So let's have a look at these quite straightforward ones first. So this one here says, now take note, multipliers, when we're using the multiplier method when we're using the multiplier method for percentages, we need to use our calculator, okay? That usually comes up on the calculator paper. And the multiplier method, in fact, it's probably worth writing this down somewhere on your notes. A multiplier is when we convert our percentage to a decimal, and usually we multiply, but not all the time, so we'll just leave it as that now. A multiplier is when we convert our percentage to a decimal. Okay, so let's have a go at this first question here using the multiplier method. So increase, so example 1, increase 568, increase 568 by 55%. Now with this one here, it's all about that starting point. Do you understand what this is worth as a percentage? Do you understand that I'm increasing by 55%? So here, your starting amount, your original amount is always 100%. So I'm going to write this down. This is how we use the multiplier method. Get this down in your notes. So I'm starting with 100%. If I want to increase by 55%, I want to add 55%. I'm increasing by 55%, which is equal to, in this case, 155%. Nice and straightforward. Now remember, we're going to be using the multiplier method here. Now the multiplier method says I'm going to change this to a decimal, and 155% as a decimal is 1.55. So if I wanted to increase by 55%, this is what I'd multiply by, 1.55. So in this case, it's just going to be 568 times by 1.55, 568 times by 1.55, using our calculator, in this case, is equal to 880.4. Not money, so I'm not writing a pound sign. Brilliant. Okay, so let's have a go at example 2. Now notice that example 2 is a little bit different. Example 2 doesn't say increase this time, it says decrease. So decrease 1056 by 3%. So again, I'm starting with the same point. I'm starting always with 100%. Okay, start with 100%, and this time I'm decreasing, so I'm subtracting by 3%, which is equal to 97%. 97% as a multiplier. Now, if you're not sure how to work this out, as a multiplier, this percentage sign means divide by 100. So if you wanted to work it out on your calculator, your multiplier, it would be 97 divided by 100, which is equal to 0.97. So this here is our multiplier. This here, if I times by 0.97, it's the same as decreasing by 3%. So if I want to decrease 1056 by 3%, it's going to be 1056 times by 0.93. This is our decrease of 3%. So 1056 times by 0.97 is equal to 1024.32. Brilliant. That's example 2. So those two are quite simple. That's just the basics of a multiplier, increase and decrease. Okay, so look at this one then. Again, I think this is quite straightforward. I think you should be able to fly through this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So William's salary is £24,000. His salary is increased by 4%. Work out William's new salary. Now, I'm just going to pause there for a second because I know what the next question is going to be. Now here, we're trying to work out William's new salary. We're trying to work out his new amount. If you're trying to work out, and get this down in your notes, get this down on the paper. If you're trying to work out, if you're trying to find your new amount, so this is the important part. If you're trying to find your new amount, then you times by your multiplier. We've just done that. That's nice and straightforward. So I'm just going to put this in your notes for now, because I know what the next question is. If you've got to work backwards and you're trying to find the original amount, so if you're trying to find your original amount, so what it was before, if you're trying to find your original amount, instead of times by your multiplier, you're going to be working backwards. So for these ones, you need to divide by your multiplier. Now, I've told you to get those down because you need to be able to differentiate between these questions and say, am I trying to find my new amount or am I trying to find my original amount? If it's the new amount, I multiply by my multiplier. If it's the original amount, I divide by my multiplier. So here we've got our first question. So it's an increase of 4%. Okay, same as always, start it off. So I've got £24,000 and I want to increase by 4%. So same starting point, 100%. I want an increase of 4%, so add 4%, which is equal to 104%. 104% as a multiplier is 104 divided by 100. Percent means out of 100, remember, which is equal to 1.04. And notice here, we're trying to work out William's new salary. So that means I've got to multiply by my multiplier. So 24,000 times by 1.04. 24,000 times by 1.04, which is equal to 24,960. So William's got an extra £960 on his salary. Brilliant. So that's that question there. So let's have a look at this next one. In a sale, normal prices are reduced by 15%. The sale price of the CD player is £102. Work out the normal price of the CD player. Now, this one here, you'll notice, it looks very, very similar. It sounds very, very similar, but it's completely different. And the reason that it's completely different is because it's not asking for the new amount of the CD player. It's not asking for the sale price of the CD player. It's asking for the normal amount of the CD player. It's asking for that original amount. Okay? Now, the starting point's still the same. It still had a reduction of 15%. So I'm not changing that. I'm not adding 15% on. I have to start with the same thing. So here, I've got 100%, which was reduced by 15%, so minus 15%, which is equal to 85%. 85% as a multiplier is equal to 85 divided by 100, which is equal to 0.85. Now, because I'm trying to find the normal price of the CD player, or the original price, I need to work backwards. So to do that, I need to do £102 divided by my multiplier, so divided by 0.85. And that's because I'm trying to work out my original amount, okay? A lot of people will, with this one, will find 15% of 102 and try and add it back on. But you can't do that because you're finding 15% of 85%, not of the 100%. The best way to do it, if you've got a calculator, is to divide by this multiplier. Okay? So 102 divided by 0.85, which in this case is equal to £120. So I'm dividing by my multiplier because I'm trying to find the original amount or the normal price. Okay, so you've got your questions now. You've got 5 minutes to have a go at those questions. So 5 minutes, off you go. Okay, so here's the solutions to the first two. So here we've got an increase of 23%. So our multiplier is going to be 1.23 and times in by that, which is 30.75. Question 2, decrease by 26%. So I'm subtracting 26% from 100%, which is going to be 76, which is a multiplier is 0.76, and I'm times in by that there. Brilliant. Okay, so for the Anbaz address one, it was a reduction of 80%. Sorry, a reduction of 20%, which is 80%. So multiply is 0.8 because I'm trying to find out the sale dress of the price or the new price of the dress and times in by 0.8. That's the key part to this. Okay, the answer is £29.44. The next one was that Andrew bought a saddle. So with this one here, it was a very similar start, wasn't it? Because it was still a reduction of 20%, which means it's going to be 80%, which means my multiplier is 0.8. However, it was trying to find the normal price of the saddle, or the original amount, which means I divide by 0.8. And then the last one, we've got this one here, which Dave pays cash for. So this one here, again, it was a reduction of 20%, and we're trying to find the normal price, so we're dividing by 0.8, which in this case is equal to 6,500. So thank you for watching this video on percentages and our first learning lecture. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you soon.